Good morning, class. It's me, your science teacher, Patrick, and today I'm going to take you through a science lesson, and the topic is temperature. Now, to begin with, let us ask ourselves, what is temperature? Temperature is the degree of hotness or coldness of a body on an object. So, what instrument is used to measure temperature? Temperature is measured using an instrument called a thermometer. And the units of temperature are, the common one is degrees centigrade or Celsius, or you can also use the Fahrenheit. But remember, the international system unit for measuring temperature is Kelvin. So today we are going to be looking at how to change degrees centigrade into degrees Fahrenheit. So we are going to conversion of degrees centigrade into degrees Fahrenheit. So to begin with, we are going to start with the most common one, which is the boiling point of water at sea level. And if we are told you change 100 degrees centigrade into degrees Fahrenheit. Now the first thing you're supposed to remember when you're converting degrees centigrade into degrees Fahrenheit is the formula. So the formula of converting degrees centigrade into Fahrenheit is you take your centigrade, you multiply by 9 over 5, and then you add 32. You end up with your degrees Fahrenheit. So let us take our 100 degrees, we multiply by 9 over 5, and then we add 32. Let's see what we get. So if you take 5, you divide by 100, by 5, 1, by 5, you end up with a 20. 20 multiplied by 9 is 180. Remember to add 32. So let us add them together. Here we get 2, here we get 1, here we get 2. So it means that 100 degrees centigrade is equivalent to 212 degrees Fahrenheit. Another example. Let us look at another example. An example of body temperature of birds. So let us change 40 degrees centigrade into degrees Fahrenheit. Remember, these are some of the most common questions that keep appearing in your exams. If you look at your internal exams that you do at school every day, it's very common. If you look at the external exam that are coming out from out, very common also. So, how do you convert 40 degrees into Fahrenheit? Number one, remember, the formula is the key. So the formula here is degrees centigrade multiplied by 9 over 5 plus 32. We end up with degrees Fahrenheit. So you take your 40, you multiply by 9 over 5, you add 32 once again. So you cancel 5 by 40, you end up with 8. You multiply 8 by 9, you get 72. And then you add your 32. And what you have? What do we have? 410. So 40 degrees centigrade is equivalent to 104 degrees Fahrenheit. Example number 3. The temperature of a human being, normal human being. The body temperature of a human being is 37. So let us change 37 degrees centigrade into degrees Fahrenheit. Remember, always remember the formula, which is 0, which is degrees centigrade multiplied by 9/5 plus 32. So here we have our 37. You multiply by 9/5 plus 32. Now if you look at this example, you will note that it is impossible to cancel 5 and 37. So what are you supposed to do? You multiply 37 and 9, and you end up with 333. And then from there, you divide by your 5, which is the denominator. When you divide by 5, you get a number like 66.6. But remember, you have not ended there. You have to remember, you have to add 32. And 32 is put before the decimal, not after. And then you can finally add up. You get 6, you get 8, you get 9. So the body temperature of a human being is 37 degrees centigrade, but when you convert into Fahrenheit, you end up with 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. These are some of the things you're supposed to memorize because they are very common in the exam. And let us look at the last example of converting centigrade into Fahrenheit. The last example is change 0 degrees centigrade into degrees Fahrenheit. 0 degrees centigrade. Formula is the first thing. If you remember the formula, then the working becomes so easy and so simple. It's just like a cup of tea or a walk in the park, as Teacher Richard would say. So, if you take your 0 degrees, you multiply by 9/5 plus 32. We know that any number multiplied by 0 is 0. So when you multiply this by 0, you end up with 0, and then you add your 32, and our answer is 32. So 0 degrees centigrade is also equivalent to 32 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, let us go to our second example of changing Fahrenheit back to degrees centigrade. So example 2. And I'm going to use the same numbers that we have used here so that we may not get lost. We are going to use the same number. Let us use this one that we got here. So let us change 212 degrees Fahrenheit into degrees centigrade. So formula changes now. We're not going to use the same formula. The formula has to change. We start with our F, degrees Fahrenheit. You subtract 32. This time you don't multiply first. You first subtract 32, and then you can now multiply by 5/9. You get your degrees centigrade. Let us try. Our Fahrenheit is 212. We take your 212, you subtract 32, multiply by 5/9. Now, who can tell me 202 minus 32? What do you get? Mathematicians. Kelvin, Can see you smiling. You are mathematician. John Gatter. Another one. 180. Wonderful. 180. I believe everyone got 180. Now we multiply by 5/9. It means now we can cancel. By 9, 1. By 9 you get a 20. And 20 multiplied by 5 is 100. So we can see we are back to where we started. 212 degrees Fahrenheit is equivalent to 100 degrees centigrade. Another example. We go to this one. You are told change 104 degrees Fahrenheit into degrees centigrade. The key here is the formula. Remember, the formula is your work becomes so simple. So you take your F minus 32, multiply 5/9. So my F is 104. I subtract my 32, I multiply 5/9. I know now you have become all eager. So when you subtract 104 from 32, that's a simple one, what do we get? 72. Good. We end up with 72. We multiply by 5/9. Let's cancel. By 9, 1, by 9, 8, and what is 8 times 5? Our answer is 40. So you can see 104 degrees Fahrenheit is equivalent to 40 degrees centigrade. I'm going to look at the last one because of time. So the last one that I'm going to look at is the one that is on the board. Converting or changing. Let us change 32 degrees Fahrenheit into degrees centigrade. This one is a very common question. So let us see how we end up with our answer. So formula, number one is the formula. Write the formula. That is the formula. If you know the formula, the rest is just so simple. So you take your 32 degrees Fahrenheit, you subtract from 32 according to the formula, and you multiply 5/9. So this is 32 minus 32. This is addition, this is subtraction. So they end. They cancel each other. We end up with a 0. So 0 multiplied by 5/9 is automatically a 0. So you can see 32 degrees Fahrenheit is equivalent to 0 degrees centigrade. So I'll be sending you work to see whether you have understood the topic of today. But until then, stay safe, stay home, wash your hands, and remember, maintain social distance. God bless.